All right, guys, we are excited. We have some of our favorite people back. We are super excited. If you listen to their episode, you know that like everything that happened was super fresh. So we've seen kind of things transpire because we're friends with them on social media, and it's been so fun to watch and so fun to see them together and other things that happened and all these things. So we have Molly and Sylva back for an update, and we're super pumped and super excited to hear from them. They're just the best. They're the cutest. They're just like, I just love it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was eavesdropping on them before we even started this when it was just the two of them on there, and I absolutely loved it. You can just see how cute their relationship is. Like, it's just, I love it so much. So they don't know that as they're sitting there laughing because I heard everything they're saying.
Oh, getting mad about our kids.
I love it. So anyway, I will go ahead. Molly, Sylva, I don't know who wants to take the floor, and I'll mute myself so you guys have the floor and go ahead.
Cool. Well, okay. So I think the last time we talked, Sylva was coming down to Utah, like that next, oh my gosh, I said it. The light counter. Okay. No, she was coming down that next weekend with her family and everything. And it was the coolest thing ever. Like, it was so cool. It was, I mean, as I think we talked about, my husband's name's Talon. Her son's name is Talon. My son's name is Finn. Her daughter's name is Finley. Oh, speaking of my Finn here. Oh, and the dogs. There they are. Hello. So it was funny. Just like, it was cute. Like, Lily and Casey look exactly alike. Want to say hi?
Yeah.
Say hello.
Hi.
Hi. Lily and Casey are girls that are the same age. Look so much alike. Like, it's so crazy. It's so weird. And then I remember we were just hanging out. Oh, that's really bad, buddy. Okay. He got a Pez dispenser today at Buzz Lightyear. Like, it's the best thing ever.
There's my boy, but there's no candy.
Yeah, you ate it all. Sorry.
I had to get some more.
I have to get some more. Okay, can you go out with your sister?
No, it's night.
It's nighttime?
No, it's early.
Oh, just the confusion, the pure confusion. No, so it was cool, you know, like we were all hanging out, and I'd say, "Hey, Talon," and then her Talon would be like, "What?" You know, or so we ended up nicknaming him Sprite because he had a Sprite shirt on. Go with Daddy real quick, okay? Thanks, bud. It's okay. And so now young Talon's nickname is Sprite, right? Like, it's just so many cool little things happened. And we got a really cool picture of both Finns sitting in the garage playing with each other. Like, just really special things happened. And then, I mean, yeah, it was just really cool. And it's been super cool ever since. We then last weekend, 2 weekend, 2 weekends. Because today Tuesday. So yeah, I don't know. I just wake up every day and live. So we got to have a little photo shoot, and Sylva and I did, and I can pull up some of the pictures. They're super cute if y'all want to see them.
Yes, you guys will have to watch YouTube to see them. So if you're listening to this via podcast, you have to run over
you
to
have to look on YouTube for sure.
But they're super cute.
Cool. Here's just, oh, he's back. Guess who's back again. Are you Shady? He's a real slim Shady. Oh, and there's Casey. Hi, Case.
Hello.
Here's Casey. Say hi.
Hi, Sylva. Hi.
So this is just one of the pictures. The other ones were, so I don't know if you can you see it? Not really. It's kind of blurry, huh? So we're just like walking there.
Turn the brightness down on your phone.
Turn the brightness down.
Can see.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
look, I can do hard things.
Okay,
Okay, let's see if that works. Oh, the brightness on my phone, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
That's better. Much better.
So there's that one, which we talked about a little bit ago. Like, it looks like a large Viking next to her. Okay.
Sorry, I'll go.
Okay, you guys go out, okay? No? Okay, can you be silencio, por favor?
Sure.
He goes, sure. And then he leaves. Let's see. We definitely posted him. I'm sorry, guys. Should have been more prepared.
You're fine. Don't apologize.
Let's see Okay. So we get there and she goes, okay, I have this vision, right? Because she's a photographer. She's like, you got to get on my back. And I'm like, what? I'll smash you. Like, right. But they turned out so stinking cute. And I freaking love them so much. So cute. Sorry, there's like a weird blue flare right there. But like this one, it's like I look like I'm like, oh, like it's just so fun. Like I was telling you guys, I have a friend that said she's you, but just smaller, like fun size, right? So it's crazy because I've never, like I said earlier, like I've never looked like anybody, right? Like it's cool. I mean, my adopted mom, we used to get all the time, especially when my hair was blonde, that I looked a lot like her. But nope. I mean, yes, mother, I do, because she'll be listening because she's great. But like Sylva's my twin, and that's really cool to me. So there's that. Okay, your turn, Sylva.
Hold on, I have a baby crying, so Molly, just keep talking for a second.
Okay, I'll talk. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
so
actually
what's
piggyback off of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because
go.
having somebody that looks like you, it is a very different thing. Because Chelsea actually met my younger sister. Milena met my younger sister Chelsea, and even though we're different, we do look so similar, and it's crazy to finally have that person you can look at and go, "Wow, that's me. This is weird. This is
Yeah.
strange," and it never gets old. Like we've known each other for about 4 or 5 years now, and it still has not lost its luster to have that. So I completely understand where you're coming from with that.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's really cool too, because I mean, Sylva and I absolutely look so much alike. But then too, on my dad's side, to see my similarities with my sister and my brother on that side, and my dad too, like that's super cool. Super cool. But there's this picture, I don't know if I don't think it had happened during like at that point of our last little visit. But my awesome dad had us all together for a end of summer barbecue. So all of us siblings were together finally for once, and we took this big, huge family picture. And it was so cool. Like all my nieces and nephews, and Casey was the only one that wasn't there, little party pooper. But it was really cool. And then we went over to their farm, their ranch, and we got to see, because I think I told you they board dogs and they, all of that. So we got to see all of the dogs, and we got to see the donkeys, and my kids got to feed them, and it was super cool. It was really, really fun to be like in their world finally, and then my cute sister Ricky took Chloe on a razor ride. Probably can't see it really, but it was like the highlight of her little summer. And then, my brother Cooper, shout out, my brother Cooper and his now fiance Sunny are going to get married next June, and yay, I'm so excited. And then we get to celebrate my grandma's birthday in November. She's gonna be 85, and yeah, it's been really cool, really, really cool. I still get a text message every night from my dad.
I don't think people who aren't adopted, they don't realize that when you can have that good relationship, you know what I mean? I know it's tricky,
Right,
and sometimes it's great relationships, sometimes it's not, but I
Right.
don't think people understand that. And it's how Delancey, going off what she said, until you like see people that look like you, and it's not that you like have this complexity or whatever growing up, at least it wasn't for me, but it's just like, it'd be so cool if I found somebody that looked like me. And then, I mean, you guys are so freaking similar. It's just crazy. And then the same with like Delancey and her sister. I was like, oh my gosh, it's just like a miniature version of Delancey, like her personality and everything. And it's just, it's crazy. And then Delancey even was talking about like nature versus nurture, and how you've never lived with these people, you've never been around these people, and you get around them and you start doing like the same mannerisms and facial expressions, and you're just like, whoa, I've never been around you. And so it's just so crazy. So I think that's just so awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been really cool. Like my dad I'll like be venting to him or something about something. He goes, "Oh yeah, that's a Skinner thing." Yeah, makes sense. Makes total sense. I'm like, oh, cool, okay, now I know where I get it. Like, but yeah, it's super cool. And then like when I fly off the handle, I'm like, oh, maybe that's a her gene. Maybe it's something. Like it's fun to just try to understand and be able to see kind of where I get
Right.
works.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Way cool.
It's almost like you make sense and like who you are and you're secure in who you are. But then you have like the backstory. Like, oh,
yes.
Okay, like legit, that makes sense why I am this way. Like I totally get it. Like I made sense before, but now I really make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I get that.
I love it. Is she ready? If
I'm
not,
about to say,
it's okay.
Sylva. So
Are you ready?
Yeah, hopefully. I'm sorry. My husband's out of town.
Don't be sorry.
So just me and all the kids. I'm just like, I hope my kids are good, but
You're good. I feel you.
quiet. So yeah, I think it's really cool that Molly also has just like this dad and she gets to share all that exciting stuff. That's awesome. But yeah, like everything Molly said, we've seen each other a couple times now and we've just been like really bonding and building our relationship and it's just been super awesome.
I do have to say one thing about the first time you guys came over, and so that you will totally agree with this. And you I think we saw it. And even so, Tanner, her oldest son, and my husband, Talon, clicked so hard. And they like exchanged numbers and like, they like text each other and Talon's like, "Hey bro, how you doing?" And he's like, "Hey man, like, yeah, I'm great." Like it's like, I remember that night after everyone left, Talon came in, he goes, "He asked for my number. Like, I'm the cool uncle." And I was like, "Yeah, you are." Like it just really cool. Just really, really, really cool. It was super easy to just, it's like we had known each other forever, like all of us. It was really neat.
Yeah, it was. Everything was just like natural and it flowed and yeah, we had a really good time. So yeah.
No, I love what have you like loved more about the relationship? So I'm gonna try pulling crap out of you. What have you loved more? Like
I was about to say they're not giving us a whole lot to work with. We're like, update us on everything, and they're like, everything's great.
I mean,
just
just
like, okay,
having
cool.
that connection with somebody, like biologically and it's different. Like, and maybe it's just because all my brothers and sisters are so much older than me, but it's just like, just having like that sister finally. And like, I can talk to her about anything. Like we vent to each other all the time, like about everything, like everyday life things and our kids and our husbands, like literally. Right. Like
and it's cool because we might not talk every day, but it instantly, it's like that best friend, right, that you've had your entire life. And if you go like a month or two without talking to them, or even a year or two, like you're going to pick up instantly where you left off. And there's nothing weird, I mean, yeah, it's crazy, but it's awesome.
Yeah. So that's been like,
I'm so envious of y'all. I just am, because Chelsea and I were not like this. Like Milena can attest to it. She heard Chelsea's like whole entire thought process. She and I were not like y'all are. So I'm thankful for her, but like just seeing how y'all like the way y'all approach each other, that's how I was approaching her, and she was having none of it. Like she was like, So seeing that can happen on both sides, it's so beautiful to me. Like I love, like both of you light up as you're talking about the other and how you've met and how you've clicked, and like I'm going back and forth, like just looking at y'all, in which means y'all have to watch YouTube, because like you can see my eyes go up and down, up and down, up and down, because y'all both just light up talking about each other, talking to each other, talking to each other's kids on here. Like it's just, I love this. I'm so glad they're back.
It was so cute last weekend when we were up at Brock and Jess's house up in Eden, where we took the pictures. I remember little Talon, because big Talon, or Sprite. We'll call him Sprite because Casey gave him that name. She's like, "Oh, Sprite, your name's Sprite." I was like, all right, well, we're going. He goes, I don't want you to leave. And I just was like, oh. Like, I've never had like a niece or nephew tell me they don't want me to leave. Like, it was so cute to me, And then I think, oh yeah, Lily said the same thing. She's like, why are you leaving already? And I just was like, oh, I'm sorry. And Tate's like, hey, yeah, don't leave. Like, like it was just cool. Like, I don't know.
We need a I was so sick. I felt so bad, but I was so sick that day. We took pictures, like miserable.
Yeah, she looked freaking amazing. So rude.
That's what you look like when you're sick.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Well, damn, girl.
Like, that's like not even fair. For
if
the
I'm
record.
sick, I'm like done.
Yeah.
I was just like miserable the whole time, but so we need a redo so I can hang out and have fun with you guys. Because I was
Absolutely
pad freezing and it was terrible that end, but yeah.
But then too, how many weeks was it after we like all got together that Tanner got in his car accident? It was like not that, like a week or two, right?
Yeah.
And it literally tore every single one of us up. Like Casey sent him
oh my gosh,
a video message crying, like better, like he had to be hospitalized. He's fine. He's great. He's tan man. But like I was like, yeah, it was crazy. Like it just goes to show, like, if you allow yourself to be open to relationships, right? You have to allow yourself. And you have to have that wall down, that barrier down. But also, I mean, family is family, right? Blood is blood. And there's a connection that's super special. And it was just instantaneous. I mean, yeah, like I'm gonna start crying. I don't want to cry. I'm Viking, I don't cry. Come on. So I don't want to cry. But yeah, it was just really cool. It was cool.
It was.
I start crying.
Don't, or I will. I don't cry.
No crying.
To say y'all can't cry because y'all start crying, and I'm gonna start crying, then Melena's gonna start crying, and then it's gonna be just a whole bunch of podcasts of crying women, and we can't have that.
Nobody's gonna understand what we're saying.
They're gonna be like, "What the world just happened? They were all laughing 3 minutes ago." It's called being a woman. Shut up.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, other than that, like, I don't know if you want me to go into detail of much more that's been like transpiring, which it hasn't been like a lot. Like we've got like a little backlash, like from posting our last podcast, and members of the family that
a little backlash, or
yeah, no, expand on it and then tell us how you guys have handled it, because I think you guys have been amazing with everything that's happened. So yeah, go ahead.
100%.
Okay. So yeah, we got some backlash. We posted our podcast, and I don't really know how to say this besides we got some backlash. And
I say, speak your truth, girl. Speak your truth.
Yeah. So the last time we did the podcast, I think it was actually the next day, I actually got like a very mean text message from our biological mom, because she didn't get word. I did actually send her a message, like saying like, hey, just found out about Molly, like I sent her like it was a really nice text message, nicer than I feel like she deserved. But I had sent her a message, explaining that, I had found out about Molly, and we had heard like through the grapevine that there was possibly another child that was adopted, and, like just kind of like giving her an open floor that was like, I would like to know, like, this is a safe place. Like, I just have I have questions that I would like answers to. And she didn't text me back right away. I'm trying to think how this all transpired, but anyways, days later or something, I got like this really mean text message back from her, and I can read it if you would like me to. I have it on my phone, but it was pretty much basically saying like she doesn't owe me anything, and her children are not my siblings merely, like biological siblings. Like just it was crazy, like her response to what my like coming to her was. Like it was just crazy. And then pretty much told me that after she sent this message, she was going to block me. And if I found other ways to try to get a hold of her, like she would block me again. And if I did that, like she would get like a protection order or something, like acting like I've been like attacking her, like trying to get these answers. Like I haven't talked to this lady for years. I haven't even tried to message her or contact her or like have anything to do with her for like, it's probably been 4 years until after Molly came into the picture. And so yeah, that happened. And then we posted the stuff on social media and I got some backlash from her daughter's best friend, her other daughter, you know, just like I've had multiple people from, well, it would be Molly's side of the family, you know, reach out to me and like tell me that beware of Wendy, like she's saying terrible things about you and like trying to make you to look out to be like this bad guy, and just like telling me she's crazy and she would go to like any lengths to like hurt me, which I don't really know what that meant. Like, is she gonna murder me? But just I don't know. I could read you all of these things. But there's just been like, I've talked to quite a few people and they've told me stories, and yeah, I'm just kind of over it. Like I want to focus on the good, you know, my relationship with Molly, because that's all I ever really wanted. But yeah, there's a lot with that side of the family. There's a lot of secrets and lies and things that I won't even go into, like, you know, because it would hurt other people. But it's just crazy. Lady is
So
just
I think,
crazy.
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Sylva.
You're fine.
But a very important part of that text message, I think, that she sent you was she said, just because we are blood doesn't mean we're family. And that literally, I was fuming. Like,
I can read the text message if you want me to.
Hold on. I was about to say, I have questions about that statement in particular. Was she referring to you two, or was she referring to her and y'all?
her and Sylva, or me probably, right? Like, and she said, I gave you guys up for adoption with no intention of. Just read it. Yes, just read it.
Yeah, because I'm sure I'm going to have questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I can read the message. Hold on 1 second. Pause.
Fanny, hey, Fanny.
Baby, I feel that way too when we start
Fanny
talking about that crazy lady. What? I didn't call her the B word, so I feel like our people who are listening should be happy that I can change it over to that.
No, it's because you don't swear on it, so they probably. I mean, it's justified though. Let's be real.
I would say I did say the B word last time. So
my biggest thing that I love about all this is how much like turmoil and shit you guys have gone through, and you guys have chosen to still embrace the happy ending with the two of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not letting it overtake you. You're not letting it be like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I love how Sylva's like, I'm just ready to like wash my hands of it and be done.
Be done with
like,
it.
Yeah.
Well, and they're unified. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Like they're a unit. They're loyal to each other, and it's kind of like this is the impression I'm getting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm right. It's kind of like we love each other. We're sisters. You know, tough crap. If you don't like that, no matter what you say, you can't take this from us. That's what I love so much about these two, is that no matter what anybody says or attempts to say or attempts to do, they have so much joy with each other. It can't be touched. Like, I absolutely love that. And it's, I mean, because
it does just make me like
cry a little bit, just so you know.
More than
tearing up over here. But yeah, like you hit the nail on the head there, I think, for sure.
Yeah. All right, Sylva, you ready? If not, it's okay. Yeah. Are you ready? Okay.
So her message. Oh, can you hear me? Okay. It said, Sylva, I hesitated to respond to avoid and open myself up to an emotional thunderstorm or an attack from you. I have given it a few years to consider with lots happening in between and lots of therapy to ensure I was making the right decision for myself and my family. I stand by my decision. I do not have room for you in my life. I do not anticipate that changing. I don't owe you anything. Not answers, not an explanation, healing, or comfort. When I placed you for adoption, it wasn't under the pretense that someday we would all reunite as a happy family and I would heal you. You have amazing parents and had a wonderful life. You have siblings that you grew up with, and now you have Molly. And I didn't owe you the story of Molly. I owe you nothing. I didn't owe Molly the story of you. You chose to use the word siblings. Those are not my words. You continue to use those words, which doesn't make my children your brothers and sisters, merely biological siblings. We have genetics in common. That's it. That doesn't translate to family or us owing you anything, and that's okay. I didn't abandon you. If you have abandonment issues, they are yours to work out with your therapist. Oh my gosh.
Finny. 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 Hi. What are you eating? What are you eating?
Like trying to spoon her chocolate. Gosh.
Your chocolate.
So that was basically the text message, and then just telling me that, you know, like if you try to reach out to me again, I'll block you. Which, stop. What blows my mind is, like, I reached out to her just asking about Molly and something else. I wasn't asking like for closure or for her to heal me or for her to accept me back in her family. Like, I was just asking for answers about things that she does owe me, first of all, because she was the one who wanted me to be a part of her family, call her mom, and, you know, her sibling. I had to find the first message she ever sent me because it was totally different than that one. So it's just a lot.
Well, and the thing like that me and Delancey took away from too, when we were talking about it, like just between me and her with everything that kind of transpired with people, you know, coming at us and people coming at you guys, is like, if they truly listened to the whole thing of your guys' last podcast, they would have heard you guys talk about how things are rough and tough, but how you wish nothing but goodness and happiness on these people. You hope they can, you know what I mean? And you know, you feel for them and all those kinds of things. It was never like they need to die and rot in hell in the end. It was simply,
Right.
we
There was
hope they
never
can
anything
find
like
some
that.
peace and that they can move on, and then we can move on as well, and we can all just do our own thing from this. So that's
Well,
like,
and too,
yeah.
sorry,
go ahead.
no,
You're good,
sorry,
Molly.
I
No,
didn't mean to
you're
interrupt
good.
you.
No, you're good. Go
I
ahead,
think
Molly.
too, with like the backlash that we got, it was very, very pointed towards us being angry about the past.
Correct.
And the decisions that were in the past and blaming for the past. Absolutely not.
Correct.
100% not.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Found each other.
everybody. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sylva.
Say that again, Sylva.
I was just saying we were happy, we were celebrating, we weren't, you know, like voicing out loud anything negative about her family. Like, I mean, we were.
It's almost like they didn't listen to the same podcast that we put out. It's legitimately like they cherry picked certain little parts that were going to trigger them and make and justify them feeling the way that they felt, which really I think it was her that did that, and that got these people riled up because she heard a couple of things. I mean, I've been trying to put my finger on what I think she is, and like trying to like I took Psych 101 in college. I don't claim to be a therapist or a psychologist. I don't claim any of that. However, a narcissist is a narcissist is a narcissist. Yeah. And the more that I hear and the more that I learn, and especially with that last message, I just, there's just certain things like I don't understand how y'all celebrating finding each other and how exciting it is. And yes, I personally thought it was very important that y'all address both of your experiences with her and how similar they were, even though they were years apart, same MO, same everything, and yet they want to ignore y'all being so joyful and excited and just focus on her because poor pitiful me, I'm such a victim. They are coming to me, looking to me for everything about me, and I don't want to do that. Me. I mean, that's just like, how do you? It's exhausting.
Well,
Like,
and the crazy thing is like their timelines with their relationships with her. Sylva had all this input and everything, and like, you know, and then it came, and then Molly was like barely getting to know her, and she blocked her out. I'm done. This shit comes up, I'm done. And they're like, whoa, like what?
The craziest thing about that, like, I feel like I have to say this because of the backlash we got, right? I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I'm just saying how it is. I have not heard that woman's voice over the phone. I have not looked into her eyes in person.
Wow.
And the way, I have not talked to her since the conversation I talked about on the last podcast when I blocked her before she could write back to me. Like, I blocked her, and, I haven't heard from any of our siblings except Sylva, right? Which is fine, right? Like, if they want to be on her side of the situation, that's great. That's fine. I have Sylva. I have my freaking 5 amazing nieces and nephews. I have a cool ass brother-in-law. Like, I'm good. I have my dad's side. And I actually, a really, really, really important thing to me, and validation too, for how Sylvan and I feel, is I sent a copy of that text message that she sent Sylva to my dad. And he, there's a little dude in here now. Hi, dude. Can you say hi?
Pizza's here.
Pizza? Who ordered pizza?
Dad.
Dad ordered pizza without me.
Good job, Dad.
Go eat the pizza.
No, you.
You want me to eat the pizza?
No, that's both of us.
Both of us? Okay, I'll come eat the pizza in just a minute. You go eat the pizza.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Go eat some pizza, okay? Go eat some pizza. Nice. Is that a peace sign?
Yeah.
Artwork at its finest. Peace signs. Peace, love, and chicken grease.
3D stuff.
It is 3D.
Very nice.
I like drawing 3D stuff.
See ya.
See you guys.
Bye.
When will it be over?
Soon.
Let me over.
You got it, dude. Okay, so sorry, she and her sister just got home from their dad's house.
You're fine.
So Lee said, I sent him that, and he just said, I really bit my tongue for a long time. I wanted you to make sure you formed your own opinion about her without my influence, right? Like, I'm quoting him. And I respected that so much.
That's like amazing. That is amazing for him not to just be like this and this and this, because a lot of people would just jump to it and be like, this person's crap, this person's this person's that. But for him to just stand back and be like, I hope for better for her. That's probably what he wanted, was better for you, hoping that years had gone by and maybe some growing up had happened, but unfortunately.
Right. And that's the thing is, like, my cowboy grandpa, or grandpa cowboy is what Finn calls him. He's dad, he's Lee, he's all of the things. That literally speaks volumes of the human being that he is, right? Because he told me their relationship literally was like 2 weeks, a span of 2 weeks. And I was created, and another cool thing. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. Sorry, just sparked. Squirrel. Okay. So since the podcast, I have been able to make a really cool, close relationship with Lee's wife, Tori. So my stepmom. Yeah. Super cool. So we went up to Heber for a 24th of July celebration, and she was like, hey, Molly, I want you to meet my dad. And I was like, what? Dad, this is so cool. Like, I'm a thing, and it was so cool because she was like, okay, so Dad, I'd like you to meet Molly. And he's like, oh, it's nice to meet you. You know, he's this cute old man. His name's Leroy, which is Sylva's dad's name, by the way, like adopted dad, like crazy. Like that just, it's so crazy. So cool. Anyway, and he was like, oh, it's nice to meet you, you know, and she goes, do you want to know who she is? And he's like, well, she's Molly. You just told me that, you know? And she's like, well, no, this is Lee's daughter. And he like got teary-eyed. And he was like, you didn't tell me I had a beautiful granddaughter. Wait, which at the same time, Ricky, my sister, right, is his granddaughter, beautiful granddaughter. But you didn't tell me like I had this one. And I'm not even like technically his granddaughter, right? Like I'm Lee's daughter and she's married to Lee, right? It was just so special. And then he turned to Lee and he goes, man, you really got around. And I was, and Lee's like, yeah, I guess I did. Like, it was just so perfect. Like, that's the biggest thing to me with this whole situation is just own up to your past and don't hide it and accept it, embrace it, because it's what creates who you are. Right? We all make mistakes. We all go through shitty times. Excuse me, shitty. But it's what creates us as human beings. So that was really cool. Like, it was really cool, really super cool.
No, and I love that. And I'm gonna like really quick, like, because me and Delance talk about it all the time, because we're very huge to like blood doesn't make you family, like for our parents who have adopted us, because we have such good relationships. And I know you guys have such great relationships with your parents too, but that's 100% with your new grandpa. Like right there, he didn't even care. He's like, this is my granddaughter. Like, I don't care. This is my granddaughter, which I think is so beautiful. That made me tear up, because that's just like,
right?
Oh my gosh, like so
and
cool.
And another cool thing, not cool, but my sister Ricky had just had her gallbladder taken out like the day before. So she wasn't there. And I told her and she goes, that's like the best thing I've ever heard. Like, that makes me so happy. Like, you know, and it's just been like, I haven't really talked to Tori much lately just because, hey, because life has just been crazy, but she is so easy to talk to and she's so much fun. And like, especially going up to their property and like seeing her in her element with all the animals and stuff, it was really cool. And just, yeah, it was really super cool. Your pizza's ready. You better go eat that pizza, dude. Go eat it. It's okay. It's all right. So yeah, it was just really cool.
The thing that I think that I love the most and my biggest takeaway from like all of this is that despite the people who try to bring backlash, who are all connected by the same individual, we're not going to say her name, but we know who it is, Voldemorta. That's the way we're going to put it. Female version of Voldemort. Despite that, the amount of love and family that y'all have, it does not matter how much those people try to create their little reality that we all know does not exist. And we all know what is really going on. But the amount of love that both of you have in your lives and continuously grows. It continuously grows. Like, this is the reason I want it. Like, when Melanie and I were talking about it, I was like, they got to come back. They got to come back. They got to come back. Like, I need to know what's going on. When Melania was like, what do you want to talk about? All the things, everything. The amount of family that has grown between the two of y'all and how y'all have just expanded in love and joy and family. It's just, I love it. It solidifies the whole entire, that like Melena always says, and I always back her up and say the same thing. It's like, yes, there's hard stuff, there's trials, there's difficulties, but at the end of the day, you can find the blessings. Case in point. Just saying.
Cool thing too. I am friends with Sylva's dad, Leroy, on Facebook. And my daughter just had her 13th birthday. Heaven help me. I have a 13-year-old. It is terrifying. But not just that post that I made on Facebook or whatever, but everything I post, he likes and comments on. And it's like, the coolest thing, right?
And
like
he's the
it's so
cutest
cool
thing
to me.
ever. Sylva posted a picture of him and I'm like, oh my gosh, your dad is freaking adorable.
He is so cute. He's like the coolest cowboy ever. Like, oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, my poor mom and dad, I don't post too many things about them. But they're awesome too. They called me one day and they're like, hey, if you want to talk about more things about like your stuff that you got going on, like with Ricky and all that stuff, and Lee and Sylva, we'll talk about it, and yeah, right. We're here for you. And so Ricky and I and my one of my dear friends, Katie and her daughter, we're gonna run the Snow Canyon half marathon in November. And it's Ricky's first half marathon, and I'm so excited for her. And
Wait,
I mean, she tells me she's like behind in her training because she's a full-time student, whatever. Don't, Lance, you don't look at me like that.
On purpose? Like, y'all do that
Molly
for
was
fun?
like, go. Yeah, I would never do it again. Molly totally like followed my journey, but Molly is like an avid runner. One and done is what I did.
Of course.
Sorry, I had to
Of
brag.
course, of course, Molly's a runner.
Because those are just from this last year. Hey, no, it's not like I won first place or anything. It's like
medal's a medal is a medal.
Medals are finisher medals, and there is one PR medal. That's all. But it's just having that. Like, I'm gonna do my hobby with like the one of the two sisters that I have that I know. Like, that's super cool. Sylva, next year, you told me.
I don't remember promising anything.
She's like, hell no.
Okay.
She's like, I don't remember saying that.
Apparently, I'm very manipulative, and you're gonna find yourself running 13.1 miles with me.
Here, my sister-in-law here is to a runner, and I will hook you up with her because she always tries to get me to run. And every time I run even a 5K with her, she leaves me in the dust. So,
dude, I want to run with you. I don't want to run with your sister-in-law.
I'll run a 5K with you, but that's
okay. Deal. 10K? 10K? Ugh.
I go back to the whole entire.
Dude, that's only like 6 miles. 6 miles wouldn't be too bad. I could do that.
Yeah. She can vouch for that. I've watched her training.
I was gonna say Molly was all on my journey, and
Elena.
I ran a half, and I was like, "F that! I'm never doing that again. My body's way too old for that shit." Like it, like broke down.
No, it's not. All you have to do is put one foot in front of the other. That's it. It doesn't matter how fast you finish. Like, no one's trying to be an Olympian, right? I mean, just the ones that are trying to be Olympians.
So that's Lancy have the exact same look on their face. Like, I know.
Anyways,
I would rather pick up heavy things and put them back down every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how do I have chicken arms. Like, I can't pick up everything.
It's a journey, Molly.
Oh.
It doesn't matter how quickly you get there, just as long as you get there.
Hey, 1 mile at a time. Live in the mile that you're in.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
It's so funny. Isn't it funny how like that whole thing, fitness is such a different thing for everybody. Anyway,
it is.
So this is not a fitness podcast, so I'm sorry.
But yay,
I
totally turned it into everyone. Sylva,
but it just goes back to how we all like the same things and we all had the same, but our journeys are different.
Very different.
Like adoption is different.
Adoption. Oh, yeah.
Aha. Tied it back in.
Very true.
Yeah.
Way to go, Delancey. Sylva, I want you to expand more on like the happiness that's blossomed for you out of all this. I know you kind of said it, but like kind of, I know Molly went on like with her dad and stuff, but like what are some things for you specifically?
I mean, obviously what I said like about Molly, and I mean, really just Molly. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like it has been hard for me like throughout the years, and it did get a lot better for me. Like, it was really hard for me to process a lot of things. Not that it was negative or anything like that, but just like the rejection and being lost and confused. So, I mean, Molly definitely is a huge light, but like I have the best parents in the world and I don't need that at all, you know? I want to be very positive, but I also want to be honest, like it has hard for me and it has been a journey. And I think no matter what, no matter how hard it's been, like adoption is still like a super beautiful thing to me, just basically because I do have the best parents in the world. And I can't even imagine what my life would be like growing up in that scenario, like in that family compared to what I have now. And
100% agree with her. 100%. Absolutely.
No, and it's beautiful. I love that you are honoring that hurt, because that's a lot that people don't necessarily talk about, is rejection. Like for me, I'm not trying to be like, oh me, but that was one of my biggest fears in searching for my birth mom, is the rejection part, because you're never taught how to handle that. And if you are taught, that shit ain't easy. That's hard. That's really hard.
Well,
so thank you for sharing that. I'm glad you did.
And not only that too, like I've learned so much about myself throughout the 5 years, and just going through all this, and like my triggers that I didn't even realize I had, like growing up, my whole thing, like just being adopted. Like there's so much beautiful like out of this, and it's been like a great 2 years, and Molly just coming around has been even better. And I actually just ordered an ancestry DNA kit, and I'm gonna spit in it tomorrow morning, and I'm really excited to see if
Spit
else.
I love it. No, that's super exciting. No, yeah. Oh no, it's gross, man. Like I won't do it because that's nasty. It's like when they had the nasty, test. It starts with the C word and you had to spit in them.
So the coolest thing that's going to happen, I think, with that is that Sylva's going to pop up somewhere on my ancestry DNA.
I know.
And it's going to be connected, and it's going to be amazing. Like it's going to be official, like whatever that means. But not that, I mean, it's just a document, right? Like whatever. No, I just want to say something too with like what Sylva said. When I met Sylva, she was a little bit more angry towards the situation, right? And
in that moment,
in the moment, yes, no,
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But I've also been able to like watch her like come like find peace with it, and
I think you play a big part in that though too, Molly. And you got to give yourself some credit there. Too. You've been a big healing for her in that, like really, because then she's like like she said, you guys vent to each other about everything, and that's something you guys have in common that she doesn't really have in common with anybody. Having that person that you guys can be like, oh my hell, together, and you both understand it. So I think it's 100% you're supposed to come into her life, which I think is amazing.
It's supposed to work the way it worked out. And I really think like just the time period that I've seen y'all, between the first time we had y'all on here and then between now, there's been so much like it's almost like there's like a calm, like there's a very calming presence. And I really think, because I know Sylva was just talking about the rejection side and everything, and I mean, people can tell you all day long, like, oh, it's not you. Like, you're still going to have that thought, like, it has something to do with you. And Molly, I think you probably helped Sylva heal on that. It's not her. It was never Sylva in that. And I really think, Molly, you played a big part in that, because that would be a lot to try to wrap your head around. And I think it would help to have somebody else go through that same experience. And especially somebody that's your sister. I mean, it's your sister.
My sister,
People
right?
understand sister bonds.
I think too, it helps that and it honestly like breaks my heart. I think I probably said it last time that Sylva did have that year-long relationship with her, right? And I said just barely, like, I've never heard her voice. I don't know what she sounds like. My dad, Lee, says I sound just like her. So I've been trying to like change my voice. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Sorry. That was mean. But I don't have, that same tie, I guess. I wouldn't say connection, because I don't know if it was a connection, right? So like it was at the time, but as a mom, I honestly couldn't imagine saying the things that have been said, right?
I was gonna say that too. Like, and you guys are both moms now, and Like I can't even fathom with having, you know, children of your own now. Like, wow. Like just wow. It just
Well,
makes my heart
and
hurt and ache.
not just that, but like I mean, obviously, out of the four of us, I don't have kids, but like I'm thinking about it back about everything with my on my journey, and not trying to make it about me, but like I thought the worst thing like that could happen was me being told that my bio dad had passed away many moons ago, and that I would never ever have answers. But right up there, I think would be that text message that you read us. That
Right.
like just like that audacity level
Right.
to think that you can say things like that, that it's justifiable to say things like that. Like if
Right.
you don't want to share the information, there's another way to say it.
Right.
You don't have to be cruel.
And I don't know if I told you, in which I'm not for sure like who she said my biological dad is my biological dad. I'm pretty sure it is, but that was also hard for me because he had died just like a few years before I found Wendy. Like, so I've never like gotten the opportunity to like meet
It's
him and
hard.
talk, get his side of the story. You know, like he has a couple daughters that live in Salt Lake, and I've talked to one of them, and I met up with one of his cousins a long time ago and stuff. But yeah, that was also hard for me. Like,
And with
It's a
you,
different
with the
thing when
two
they're
of
not
you,
alive.
yeah, the two of you, Delancey and Silva, that's something I don't think people would understand either, is like how big of a loss that is. Like
yeah,
it to you guys. You know what I mean? It's like
It's
something
yeah.
because it's part of you. Yeah, you've never known him, but it's part of you. Like so
yeah,
because I don't even know
yeah.
who the hell my bio dad is.
I,
My bio mom won't share any of that shit with me, and it's really irritating. Hopefully one day I can find out, but like I can't even imagine that. Like that just makes my heart for the both of you
well,
because
it's why are we grieving somebody that we don't even know?
right,
You know, like I don't, Silva, I don't want to imagine to speak for you on this part, but like I know for me, like she told me in a message because we didn't speak on the phone, we only like messaged back and forth through Facebook. We didn't even have each other's phone numbers yet. Like that's how like wackadoodle my whole entire journey went. And she told me in a message like, "Hey, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but he died back in 1986." And I was like, and it took me like a second, and I read it again, and I remember putting my phone down and standing up and walking into my bedroom and just sitting on my bed and just start crying for no like I couldn't explain why. And to me, that level of sadness was right there with almost that level of irritation and annoyance listening to those words that she sent to you, because it's like, how dare you try to rip this from somebody? Like this wasn't because somebody passed away and that got taken from us because of whatever the situation was. You are literally trying to take this information and say, I'm the one with the power. How dare you come to me? I don't owe you anything. Like just ugh, ick.
for sure. You know, and like the only things that she ever said about him was just like negative, you know, like she didn't ever
No,
nice to say about him. And
does that shock you, Delancey? That doesn't shock me at all.
that doesn't shock me at all, but ew.
I mean, it shows the kind of
Like
human
she
that we've already
just
seen for her to be, which is sad.
yeah. Which is really sad, but like it's good though that you're able to speak to, you said he had other daughters.
yeah, he had other daughters and he was a struggling addict and he had his problems, you know, but like everything I've heard about him, like he was a loving person and like
Right.
he anything and he would have loved to have met me, you know, like yeah, it's just crazy.
It's just insane. And it's one of those, and sometimes you have to take the, sometimes it's hard to talk to people that know them, because it's like, I think I told Melena this, it's like, um, it's sometimes it's hard to, because like his family, my bio dad's family, they have a very, trying to think of a nice way to say this in case one of them listens to the podcast, uh, a very, misconstrued understanding of the sequence of events that occurred back in 1984. Um, I think that went with time though, in trying to accept the thing that happened in 1986 of his passing. So I think whenever sometimes it's hard to, especially from her perspective, Voldemorta's perspective, to listen to her talk about him in that way. It's kind of like, but that was your perception. That was your perception of him. And, you know, I still stand by, we don't like her at all. But how good you get to hear his other daughter's perception of him, because I guarantee that's a more loving perception. Like you just said, he would have loved to meet you. Like,
Yeah, I met with it would have been his niece like 5 years ago. We went to lunch and she brought all of like his baby pictures and like pictures of him like growing up and stuff, which I don't know. I feel like he is my dad because like the stories line up and I do look a lot like him and my son looks a lot like him. But yeah, he had a hard life.
Who looks like him? You and who?
Tanner.
Oh,
The baby from him.
Tan man.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, like, just because he has an addiction doesn't mean that he's not a human, that he's not your dad, that he's not somebody who you can love wholeheartedly. Because I mean, guarantee you every single one of us knows somebody who's an addict with something, and it doesn't mean that we hate them or think they're disgusting or vile. We still love them and want the best
doesn't
for
make them
them.
bad people.
And no. And so you're
Anything they need
100%.
us, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, exactly. If anything, they need you more than anything. And so yeah, no, I love that. And I'm sorry that she's not said so many nice things about him, but I'm glad that you're able to meet people and to see things and construe on your own what a human he might have been if you met him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sucks.
That got
I'll
really
just say it. She sucks. Like,
that got really
like,
heavy
it
at the
just-
end. Sylva, I would
It's
hug
okay.
you. If I was there, I would hug you because
Big
I'm a
hugs.
hugger. I would hug you. But
I probably would hug you and cry with you right now because, like, I'm like,
I say,
I'm
out
trying
of
to
anybody,
feel like-
Delancey can totally understand like the pain
Yeah,
of
it's
not
just hard.
having your dad around.
Want to meet them, like so.
Right.
I do, but
that part.
Yeah. Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
It's that part that a lot of people may not understand. It's like, it's awesome to meet. Like, you met Molly, I met Chelsea, and like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I have my brother and my baby sister, like we have those bonds and we have those incredible bonds, but then to literally be told you'll never meet this person, it's done. Like, no matter what you do, it's done. So I definitely, my heart goes out to you for that because I feel that and I understand it.
And it's
I get
different when
it.
it's a
It's a
parent. I
struggle.
think it's totally different when it's a parent versus a sibling. I can
Yeah.
relate on a minute note because I have no clue who the hell he is. And so he's just like this abyss. But it's like, to me, I think it's totally different than a sibling because I've met all my bio siblings and it's like, they're awesome. But it's like, when it's a parent, it's totally different.
Well,
And then
it's no one
there's me that,
prepares you
like-
for that.
Oh,
Stop it,
sorry.
Molly. Your story is good. You embrace it, girlfriend. Don't even try and diminish it or snuff it out.
No, I'm
because it's
not. I'm
beautiful.
not. But I definitely feel like I should be more sensitive.
No, I don't think Sylva would want you to.
you're fine. Honestly, I don't know
Yeah.
how you're positive because if I was in your situation like 5 years ago, I'd be losing my freaking mind. Like,
Just come up to the Skinner family barbecues, okay?
no,
Up in here. Just come up with us.
just for her to treat you like that. Like, I don't know how you handle it with such grace, but like, that would really hurt me. I guess you're just a lot stronger than I am.
Oh, whatever. You haven't seen me in my worst times. Okay.
Yeah, but Sylva formed a relationship
pause
with her
said it
too.
all.
I think that would be harder.
That Viking rage that I have can be quite scary. Ask my husband. No. I mean, I think it's just because I don't know her.
That's what I was gonna say. Sylva
Yeah.
formed a relationship with her. She
Yeah.
had that time with her. She had that bond with her, and you didn't really
Yeah.
know her. So it's just kind of like, well, I didn't really
Like
know
she
her,
told me
so
we have the
whatever.
same hands and feet. Like, oh, okay, cool. I got my thyroid issues from her. I freaking have ADHD
Hands and
from her.
feet.
Like,
Are you
Time
for
out.
real?
Back up. She told you you have the same hands and feet.
Yeah, little sausage hands and finger or toes. Yeah.
Did you tell her thanks a lot? Can I
But-
return them?
So the coolest thing ever, after Sylva left our house, when she came, Talon was like, you guys walk the same.
That's so funny. That's crazy.
That's cool.
Like your feet and your walk are the same. Like, Yeah.
Y'all have the same feet too. Hold on, wait, time out. Y'all have the same feet?
Yeah. I'm not gonna show them because I'm not
Lindsay.
proud of them. But she's
Stop
doing
it.
it. Okay. We do. Like I literally looked at her and I was like, "Damn, we got the same toes." And yeah, fingers.
I love it.
Ben.
No, I love it. I know you guys have got to get back to babies, especially Sylva, but seriously, like, thank you. Is there anything else you guys want to share on your parts? Sylva,
I mean, I
Molly?
think just anybody that's, like going through what we're going through or what we've been through. I don't know. Like I've said, I didn't have a relationship, like I didn't have a connection, a relationship with her. So it's a little bit easier, but I think too, I have a lot of that Skinner mindset. I will put all of that pride on that because they're very positive people, right? And it is hard some days for sure. Like today, Sylva and I both had a hard day. You heard us literally bitching about our kids before we came on, right? But it honestly, I mean, just being able to find those silver linings in life and in your story is literally everything. Like I have a sister that looks exactly like me, and we both have a talent and we both have a fin, like it's super cool. And I have my siblings on my dad's side who are always there for me too, like I'm gonna do my favorite hobby with my little sister. Like it's so cool to me. Like just if you can find the happiness in some of your hardest times, then you're gonna be okay, right? Like it's gonna be okay. And I mean, I remember, when I got divorced from my ex-husband, my dad told me, he quoted Gordon B. Hinckley, right? Because, I was raised LDS, and I think I probably am going to totally mess it up, but it's, and I've taken it with me since the day he told me, no matter what happens, everything's going to be okay. Right? Because like literally it has to be, it's going to be. So yeah, I mean, I really, really try. I'm not perfect by any means, but I try every day to wake up and find the joy in life and the positive and let go of the negative, because I don't want negativity in my life, and I don't want people in my life who don't want to be in it, right? Like it's not worth it. It's not worth the toxicity and all of that. So there's my little spiel.
No, I love it. I love it. Beautiful. Sylva, what about you? Any closing words from you?
Yeah, I just think like everybody's situation is so different and everybody's experience is so different, and just try to always focus on the positives like everything else in life. And if you're struggling, then really seek therapy and just, I'm sure everybody struggles a little bit with it, but yeah, just focus on the positives and be grateful for, everything you have, because honestly, I think in everybody's situation, like any adoptee, like your life probably would have been a lot harder, like, and we really are blessed, and
100%.
Most of us were blessed with loving families, and I know it's not always the case, and I can't even imagine, being an adoptee that didn't have that, but yeah,
we're definitely very, very, very lucky. Two very lucky people to be given up for adoption 14 months apart. But we were so lucky to be placed with the people in our life, my parents, her parents, like all you can ever feel when you're around my parents is love, right? And I'm sure it's the same with Sylva's. It's I've never once felt like I wasn't their daughter or not wanted or anything. Like I'm their daughter. They're my parents, and I'm sure Sylva feels the same way.
I love that because me and Delancey say that all the time about our parents. 100%. It's so true. I love it. Anything
I
else?
also say
Delancey, you
that
have
I'm a
anything to
damn
say?
gift, so y'all are gifts too, by the way. It's my favorite line I've ever said ever.
Direct quote. She's a damn gift. It's true.
Damn gift.
100. Okay, Delancey, anything you want to close on? And then I can close this out or
I'm just honestly, I'm just super thankful y'all came on. I feel like I told y'all, I'm pretty sure I had told Sylva a couple of days after your podcast had aired, like I really think y'all need to come back on again and just share something. So I'm really, really thankful y'all were able to find some time. I know y'all are busy like we are, but thank y'all for making time to come on here and just share share updates and expand a little bit more in your relationship. I think that's really going to help people understand a little bit more. And I just love y'all. I think y'all are awesome. So I'm just excited.
Well,
I'm excited to keep
thank
watching
you.
y'all on social media.
Well, thank you for having us back. And I think our message this time was a little bit more sentimental and deep, right? Because things have transpired and gotten deeper and cooler, way cooler.
no.
Yeah, we definitely could have focused on the negative and like fed that fire, but
Exactly. It's not worth it. I love it.
there's
Well, and
positive.
I love that y'all acknowledged it. And then it's like, yeah, here it is. But like,
Yeah.
we have each other. That's what we need.
Exactly.
And I hope find their Molly.
It's true.
Oh,
Right?
stop it.
Yes, I agree.
Aw. She's my big sister.
Allie.
Actually, I'm the
So
big
much.
sister, and she's a small sister. But I'm
Stop.
like the
Sylva, it's okay.
younger.
Chelsea tells me I'm midgy all the time because she towers over me. So it's all right. I feel that. I feel what you feel right now.
That's too funny. All right. Well, seriously, thanks, guys. Molly, I'm glad we're friends. I'm glad you lived by me for a little bit. So then I was able to still stay in contact with you and be able to have you come on and do this for us. Like, I so appreciate it. And my favorite thing is that this is going to help people a lot, not just in the adoption world, but just you're going to go through hard shit. You're going to go through turmoil and you can overcome it. It might not be easy. Find those people that are going to be your rock. I love the bond that Sylva and Molly have created. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm like, Delancey, I'm not gonna lie, I'm super jealous of it. Just because it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Hey, you guys can be part of our little bond. We can all just be sisters.
Take pictures.
As it's been said, blood doesn't make family.
It's true.
I was about to say, the
Very
fact
true.
that she doesn't think that we're going to show up to the Skinner barbecues are hilarious.
Dude,
Just
that's
saying.
the thing. The Skinner barbecue, they'd be like, oh yeah, all right. Let's do it.
I love it. I love it so much. So seriously though, thanks guys. And like Delancey said, we know you guys are busy. So thanks for taking some time out of your week, your night to do this, and tell your families thank you too. Sylva, I know you're a lone ranger right now. I feel you, girl. My husband travels too. So anyway, all right. Thanks guys for listening. If you want to know more info on them, let us know. We can get you in contact with them because they're super sweet and super awesome. So okay, thanks guys.